So we're in the final hour of the stream for tonight now. Good question, Balmy Leader 6980, who asks, "What's a backlog?" Seriously, yeah, it's a very gamery kind of term. As far as I know, I don't think it's. I've heard it used in other entertainment contexts, but a backlog is games that you have purchased or entertainment items that you have purchased that you have not yet enjoyed or consumed or used, at least not to their fullest. Maybe you haven't touched them at all, but it's your intention to get around to them. Maybe you have enjoyed them some, but for whatever reason you haven't finished your experience with them. And so they are kind of like on this what's called a building backlog of things that you eventually are going to check off and complete, you know. So yeah, it's the etymology. I wonder what that has. Probably something to do with like a log. Like a log is like a record, and maybe you're kind of checking boxes. That'd be my guess. Is that's somehow where that comes from. But yeah. Anyway, that's what a backlog is. And so tonight has largely been about trying to have just some fun, light way of encouraging you to take a second look at your backlog. Anybody who's watching, and myself. Instead of pulling the trigger on purchasing some new thing and getting a better handle on the finances that God has given us in the process of that. Okay, so that was Bioshock. 11,000 users have it in their backlog at howlongtobeat.com. So yeah, that's right. Let's see here. I don't think I said this. I didn't read the little review bit, but it's got a 96 on Metacritic. It has their little badge or stamp of must play. It's a must play game. IGN said of Bioshock, "There is art here. Bioshock stands as a monolithic example of the convergence of entertaining gameplay and an irresistibly sinister, engrossing storyline that encompasses a host of multifaceted characters. This is an essential gaming experience." Which you can ignore if you don't already own this game, but if you have this in your backlog and haven't played it or haven't played it to completion, then there's a reminder that this is a game worth checking off of your backlog list. And finally, final game of the night, the number one game on our community list with 13,100 users at howlongtobeat.com who have this one in their backlog are like, I should get to that game. Haven't gotten to it or haven't finished it yet. I should get to that. Combining both the numbers for its original release and its more recent special edition release is where we get that number 13,100. Is The Elder Scrolls Skyrim. So let me fire that up and then I'll read the little blurbs here for it. So this one got a 96 on Metacritic, same as Bioshock, also a must-play. And IGN, of its original release, said, "It's difficult to ever feel completely satisfied with the play session of Skyrim," and that's really true. There's always one more pressing quest, one more unexplored tract of land, one more skill to increase, one more butterfly to catch. It's a mesmerizing game that draws you into a finely crafted fictional space packed with content that consistently surprises. The changes made since Oblivion are many and result in a more focused and sensible style of play where the effects of every decision are easily seen. Featuring the same kind of thrilling freedom of choice the Elder Scrolls series is known for, along with beautiful visuals and a stirring soundtrack, playing Skyrim is a rare kind of intensely personal, deeply rewarding experience, and one of the best role-playing games yet produced. So yeah, chances are, if this one's in your backlog, you have put some time into it, and so you kind of know a lot of what this game is about. But it's worth being reminded that there is so much going on in this game. I, a number of months ago, finished a Let's Roleplay series that was exclusive to patrons over at patreon.com/spiritblade productions, playing through the entire game as Eldarest. And had a lot of fun with that. Just the main campaign. But all the roleplay dialogue options you have to play with the kind of personality you want to play as, and with the skills that you want to build your character to have. I mean, it's not much like these games. I keep wanting other companies to fill the void left by Elder Scrolls and Fallout games when they aren't being released, you know? And there aren't many companies that take a crack at that, you know? I think Two Worlds, 1 and 2, were going for some of that Oblivion vibe and some of those Oblivion systems and that open world fantasy action RPG stuff. I think Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning was going for it. And I just wish more companies would go for it, man. Sure, you're going to be compared to the Elder Scrolls games, and you know you're going to fall short, probably. But man, The Witcher 3, for as celebrated as that game was, and as compared as it was to Skyrim, does not fulfill me like Skyrim, because I have to be Geralt of Rivia. You know, I can't be the character that I want to create from my imagination. So there's just nothing like Skyrim. And here we've got, I realized, this coming November 2021 is going to be the 10-year anniversary of the original release of the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. So I hope they have something cool cooked up. We've already got a special edition. I don't want a special edition. What I'd really like, and I put this on my wish list for E3 every year. It's been on my wish list every year since 2015. I want a new campaign in Skyrim. I want a new just, you can give me the same world, the same dungeons, you can, you know, give it all to me. You know, just like just reset everything, maybe move monsters around or something, put some new monsters in. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Give me just a new campaign in this world that's like, I don't know, 80 years after Skyrim, or 80 years before Skyrim, I don't know. Just give me a new campaign. I mean, originally what I was really wanting was Skyrim New Vegas, you know, just a totally new game in probably a new location, but that uses the same engine. But at this point, I would be happy with the same map and just a new campaign with new things going on in these dungeons, new monsters, and I am now playing as Shaden. This is the playthrough that I had been doing before I did the Let's Play series, where I'm playing as kind of a roguey guy who also does some magic. And really is into alchemy, really is into potions, and like buffing himself with potions and enchanting his weapons and armor. He's, you know, good at making weapons and armor, weapons more so, and boosting them with poisons and enchantments and stuff like that. Rugged Warrior says, I thought about getting the VR version of Skyrim, but wasn't a price I wanted to pay. Yeah, I mean, if I went the VR route, this and No Man's Sky would be like the two games that I would want to play, but I want new games that I haven't played that are like No Man's Sky and Skyrim. That would maybe entice me to pull the trigger on VR. I don't know if just the novelty of VR in these games that I've already played hundreds of hours of is going to be enough. Let's see here. So, Balmy Leader, now understanding the idea of a backlog, says, well, that means Black Ops 1, No Man's Sky, Doom 1, Doom 2, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Dishonored 1, and Prey is in my backlog. Some of these are in Game Pass. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I think those are probably some pretty common backlog games for a lot of people. In fact, some of them might even be in the top 10 for most backlog games at How Long to Beat. We'll see when I read that list here in a little bit. Let's see, do I need to crouch right now? That's right. Maybe I'll try to do third person for a little bit. I know that people like that in streams, and I can understand why. I just really don't like third person for Skyrim, but for you guys, I'll try it for a bit and see how it goes. Nice. Sure, we'll take it. Nice. Very good. Yeah, I love these components that I can only find down here. These the gear oil or whatever it is. Oops, missed. Oh crap, somebody's coming. Ow! Ugh, can't do it. Alright. Yeah, when I get into the thick of it, that third person just does not work for me. I tried. I did switch over into third person for most of my Let's Roleplay series. I should probably pick up this ebony ore. I think I'll want it later on. Ooh, I think I need to adjust the brightness. I almost walked right over that cliff. I've got more lights when I'm streaming. I got all these lights in my room, and it makes my room have just, yeah, makes it harder to see. So, all right. Yeah, okay. That'll do, I guess.
Lost!
Oh. Nice. Yeah, one thing that I like about this game is because of all the systems that it has in play, you can kind of create a headcanon in your mind of who you want to be in this world, you know? You can build yourself a house, you can kind of... I mean, the more systems games like this have, the more you can kind of imagine your headcanon story for who you are and what your place is in a fictional world. And I love that in games that are built that way.
All these metal things ignoring us.
Avanchenzell is waiting.
Waiting for what?
No one seems to know. Perhaps the return of the Dwemer. Perhaps the end of the world.
Best get rid of the ones we see, just in case.
Let's see here. Follow Me Leader says, in Fallout 4 I have a female character, and when I try to play as her, it takes me to my Xbox home screen. I haven't tried it on my male character, but my game might be broken or I lost a character. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I haven't heard of that kind of thing happening before. Rugged Warrior says, keep talking, Nobody Explodes for the PS4/VR last year, and played it with my dad and sister last year for Christmas. Oh, that sounds fun. I mean, if you liked being really stressed out and possibly angry at each other for fun. I've never actually gotten angry with anybody playing that game, but tense, yes. It's one of those games that you have to be okay with losing, I think. You go into it knowing you're going to blow up at some point. Ooh, Flawless Amethyst. Well, that would be good to sell at some point. And I love the feeling of acquiring wealth and then thinking about the different things I can spend it on to upgrade me, or to upgrade my home, or to get training to upgrade my skills, buy components for my potion making.
us!
Very good. Wait, did somebody just shoot an arrow at me? Nice. Nice. I don't get it, Balmy Leader says, can we get a F in the chat for Jane, my female character? I don't know what that means to give you an F in the chat. Maybe just somebody, you want people to type F's in a show of respect of some kind? Or I don't know. That's probably an internet thing that cool kids know about that I don't know about. Dwarven oil. Yes. Can I not get in there? Okay, no, that's fine. Oh wait, is this a door? This is a door. Here we go. Ah, crap. Ah. I think if I finish this dungeon... dang it. 76. I think I had exactly 76 lockpicks in Kingdoms of Amalur at some point tonight. There we go. I think if I finish this dungeon...
You should have hired a thief.
We are thieves, you fool. We're stealing the cube.
And yet none of us can pick a damned lock.
I can. I think I might do some of the vampire hunting quests that I never did in my first playthrough of this game. Because I went the route of becoming a vampire, and like a vampire lord, which was really cool when you have adopted kids and you come home and you're like all in your vampire lord form, and you're like, leathery wings, and the kids run up to you like, Papa, you're home! But this time around, I definitely feel more like an exterminator of vampires than a vampire themselves. Is that something I can grab? Reminds me a little bit of the crystals in Oblivion. Which Oblivion, by the way, is a great game to go back to. I mean, sure, the graphics... and that was in my... that was in my list of bang for buck games last year, I'm pretty sure. I think I played a little bit of it during that stream. That's still a great game to come back to. Yes, it has a different aesthetic, a brighter aesthetic, a smoother and simpler aesthetic. And yes, you can complain about the faces and different things like that, but the system and the world, and you can still, in so many ways, decide who you are and what your place is in the world in Oblivion. Great game to go back to. Balmy Leader says, respect the life and mourn the death man. I don't know, should there be a comma after death? Like, you're saying that to me, like, respect the life and mourn the death man? Or do you mean, like, mourn the death man? I know you're probably trying to explain to me what the F in the chat is supposed to signify, but I'm still feeling lost. I'm sorry. Oh, of your character, your Fallout character that basically glitched out and died. So it's like it's like the F key is like taking off of the hat somehow. Interesting. I mean, that's what I'm guessing. You haven't confirmed that, but
It is planning on
place is
starting a
huge.
fire. It is large indeed. I did not anticipate a function cell size or the time needed to uncover the entrance. A few hours sleep and we should be ready to continue through.
Maybe we should turn back. I don't want to sleep here.
Drennan, you do understand that the lexicon at the bottom of this place holds the accumulated memories of centuries of Dwemer.
Not to mention our pay.
So?
So we're not turning back, you fool.
Besides, you're not scared of a few sleeping metal men, are you, Drennan?
all right. Let's see here. Okay, confirmation from Balmy Leader that my hypothesis was correct. Thank you for that. Gosh, I don't want to miss something. Oh, jeez, what the crap? Oh my gosh. Oh, how far back am I going to be sent now? That was insane. That was insane. What difficulty am I on? I should check and see. I'm on the easiest difficulty, and somehow I got slaughtered by that trap. That was nuts. All right. Oops. I should have stayed sneaking. That's how I would have done more damage to these guys. Here I thought I was just going to wreck house and make my way through here real fast, but that was not the way to go. Oh my gosh, we got to watch me play all this over again.
I told you, we should have hired a thief.
Yeah. Oops. Dude, if I wasn't streaming, I would have been like, I'm done. You're gonna insta-kill me like that and send me back this far? I'll try again in a month. I hate repeating material in games. And I almost never have to in this one. That was so crazy. Come on now. Oh, dang it. Okay. I went the wrong way. Oh, come on now. We're close. Oh, still further to the right. Okay. What? Boy, it says adept, but I feel like the sweet spot is more narrow than... Oof.
We are thieves, you fool. We're stealing the cube.
And yet none of us can pick... and lock.
Alright. Balmy Leader says, I mean, it's sad she was so young, like a level 10 or 15. That is very sad. Come on now. Ugh. I have put... I mean, 800 hours total into various playthroughs of this game, I think, at this point. And I confess that the mod for auto lockpicking has been tempting for me to download a few times. Haven't done it yet. Have I been in here? I should save again. At least a quick save. Yeah, because there's another little animated thing. I really got sent back unacceptably far.
Take care not to set any...
Okay, yeah, you guys talk. I'm gonna keep going. Oops, wrong button. Was it here? Was it this door? I'm thinking it was this door. So where was that trap? Oh, it was right here. Here we go. Alright. Rugged Roy says, not seeing a lot of sky in this Skyrim playthrough. That's very true. Which is kind of the way I prefer it. I really do like dungeon crawls in RPGs. Balmy Leader says, if you were surprised by that trap in Skyrim, then wait till you see the Tomb Raider Rise of the Tomb Raider Rise of the Tomb Raider. Yeah, is that the name of the movie or the first of the kind of rebooted games? I've played some of the first of the rebooted games. I didn't get very far. I just lost interest. I didn't run into the traps yet, but I've seen enough videos of Lara dying brutally and horribly that I'm like, nah, these games are not for me, unfortunately. I will gladly go to the recent Assassin's Creed games for my person in the wilderness with a bow. Let's do quick save again. Alright. Yeah, much less death that time, which is the way I prefer it. That could be useful later. Good times. Man. Any guesses or hopes for what they might do for a 10-year anniversary? I mean, I don't even know if they'll announce anything related to the 10-year anniversary this E3. It seems like if they're going to do something of any significance, they would say something. That just seems like an anniversary, especially since they have left this game and still haven't really even started properly on the next Elder Scrolls game. You would think that there'd be something. They're not going to let that pass. But what could they do other than a special edition or a more special edition? This game has been released on toasters. It's on everything. What more could they do? How could they properly recognize a 10-year anniversary? I don't know. I mean, I can think of what it would take for me to feel like it was properly recognized, but I don't think they're going to put in that much time and effort. But that is, though, why my mind settles in particular on the idea of a new campaign in the same land. New campaign, same land. But gosh, that would still require so much work. Because they'd have to have voice actors and stuff for it to be a proper Bethesda thing. Unless they've been working on it totally in stealth mode for the last year. But this is the worst year. This has been the worst year for video game production and all kinds of businesses. Yeah. I think what's more likely is that we'll get an announcement on the anniversary of the cool thing that they're doing to honor the anniversary, which is not actually coming until sometime in 2022. I don't need this. Oh, I do have a melee weapon here, don't I? Yeah. I gotta remember that. So when I get in a bind... Yeah, okay. So I don't want to use this now. But I gotta remember that. Because when those robot things were attacking me, I kept using a bow at them, and I should have switched over to my sword. Okay, yeah, Balmy Leader clarifies this 2015 game, the Tomb Raider 2015 game. Oh my gosh, Rugged Warrior says, someone actually did a Lara with a branch through her neck cosplay. Ugh, good freaking gravy. Rugged Warrior says, Skyrim on the PlayStation, PlayStation 2, and NES. Oh boy. I'd buy it. I'd buy a little 16-bit spritey Skyrim. I'd buy that. What's wrong with me? I mean, not in first person. I wouldn't want to play it in first person, you know. Boy, I'm a sneaker. But I tell you what, doing this backlog burn, this community backlog burn, is not necessarily good for my backlog burn purposes, because I'm being reminded of these games that I have that I haven't touched in a while that are really cool and that I can really get some more enjoyment out of. And I was so focused on these other games and getting these other games finished in my backlog. And now I'm being distracted by these other great games that I have that technically I could get more fun out of. Oh well. I just got to lean into the discipline of not buying games. And I'm really going to try and do that more when I review games, is not buy them. I did have a greater tendency to buy them for a while there, and I think that's, you know, COVID has been such a horrible, horrible thing for so many people. That's one small positive that I could point to, at least in my life, is the slowdown of release in games has been good for me. And my tendency toward buying things I don't really have an immediate use for. Nice. Love that. I love that when I get them in one shot. That is super satisfying.
Lost!
Very nice. I think it was after playing the Assassin's Creed games that I really took to doing this rogue playthrough. I mean, I've done a total, my gosh. This is, I think, my third character that I've substantially been playing through the game with. The first playthrough was a straight up, more of a fighter type. By the end, I was doing some roguey stuff. I definitely was doing lots of lockpicking because I love me some loot. Gotta get all the loot. But he was largely a sword swinger, you know, with a little bit of other things here and there. And then with this playthrough, which I started, I don't know, 3 to 5 years ago? Well, with the special edition, whenever that came out, I can't remember now. I think I'd been playing some Assassin's Creed games up to that point. I liked the idea of leaning into a stealthy, roguey, you know, one-hit kill kind of character. Oops, I could use that silver. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Okay, so Balmy Leader just says, announce to everybody that what I'm going to say is violent, but not in a weird way. It's actually funny. So just a little preface there that there's going to be a violent statement about to be made. How come in Mortal Kombat 11, when they get decapitated, they are still not laying on the ground? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not familiar enough with real-world decapitations, thankfully, to know exactly how the body behaves, really, when the head is suddenly removed. So I'm willing to just kind of roll with some of that kind of stuff, because mercifully, I have no idea how a body would behave. I mean, I suspect that it would collapse pretty soon after that, unless the knees are locked or something. I don't know.
I thought you said these things were sleeping.
You said they were sleeping. I said they were waiting. It seems a few of them were waiting for someone to try and take the lexicon.
Great.
Getting a nice supply of the dwarven oil here. Oh, crap, I can never remember. There's like some of these scrap metals you can keep and then they're good for, you can melt them down, but others of them you can't. I think if it has an adjective before Dwemer scrap metal, like bent, I think this is one that can be melted down. I'm not sure. But I can make dwarven arrows with those, which are really great, among the better arrows that I can have. I generally don't like to make other dwarven equipment because it's too heavy. If I remember correctly, anyway. But the dwarven arrows I like to have. Oh man, lots of stuff going on here. Oh, missed. Ugh, missed. Ah, missed again. Go. Is that all of them?
Lost!
I think maybe. Okay. So, anybody who's played Skyrim in the past, what kind of build or class or whatever do you like to play as? Race or skill sets? What do you like to lean into? What do you like to, and then what do you like to do in the world? Maybe just the story missions, or other types of stuff you like to take on? Is that something I can kill? I don't think so. Alright. I think we're good. Kinda dark, having trouble seeing. Alright, I think I can stop sneaking. These guys do make me nervous, though. Are they lootable? Oh, good. Okay, so they're dead. Ebony arrows, yeah. Huh. I can never remember if these things are worth picking up or not. I'll leave them for now. Yeah, Dwemer Cog, that's no good. Flawless Ruby. Grand Soul Gem, but it's empty. Well, but how much is it worth? For so little weight, that's a mighty fine price. Nice, all those ebony arrows. Gosh, yeah. If I wasn't streaming, I'd Google right now. It'd be like Centurion Dynamo Core. What can I use it for? I think every time I do that, I think it's going to be usable for something, and it's just not really. Oh, yeah. There we go. Filled with the Grand Soul. Large Dwemer Plate Metal. I think that one I can melt down. Sapphire. Good to sell. Okay. Let's see here. Solid Dwemer metal. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that is needlessly heavy. Dwarven bolts. I might have a use for those. And I don't think they weigh anything, so. All this loot. Me likey. Large Dwemer, I think so. I think, yep. Dwarven bolt, sure, we'll take them. Alright, I think we've had enough of this room. There's probably more loot I could pick up, but I kind of want to move things along a little bit. But maybe do a quick save, Pater. Because who knows when Crazy Death Trap is going to appear. Drennan, what happened? I introduced my dad to this game a number of months ago. We get together once a month and we alternate which one of us picks something to do. Usually it's almost always a movie. But the idea is to just kind of like share some of our interests and our preferences and stuff with the other and introduce them to some things they wouldn't otherwise be exposed to, you know. And so I chose Skyrim because I just thought, you know, that's such a huge famous game for him to at least have a familiarity with it, so that if he's talking to some, you know, teenager or 20-something at church, he can connect with them on the topic of Skyrim or whatever, you know.
We shouldn't be here. I'm sorry.
And unfortunately, I didn't anticipate what trouble he would have with the camera. I mean, he was doing this kind of the whole time. It could not figure out how to use both sticks at the same time. I have a Bible study mentor too. I tried to introduce him to Portal, and he ended up doing this in Portal. And I was baffled. I've virtually grown up with the two sticks, and so seeing someone do this was like, oh man, how can I help you? So there was, you know, eventually he was just kind of like, well, why don't you just play it and I'll just watch you play it, and you know. And so eventually we did that. But I was able to show him, you know, before we got going, a little bit of documentary footage about the making of the game, and some points I thought that he would connect with and appreciate, namely the making of the score, because my dad is both my parents actually are retired music teachers, public school music teachers, and music is a big part of their life, always has been. And so I specifically went to the documentary footage that's online that shows how they did the music for it. And they used a legit orchestra, legit choir. I mean, they really gave it the proper treatment. And as a musician, he could really appreciate, you know, the quality, effort, and work that had been put into that. And then also that Christopher Plummer's in this. He has a support role. He's kind of like one of the main guys you talk to that teaches you about the shout, if I remember correctly, or somebody, I can't remember who, but of course he knows him from The Sound of Music and from a bunch of other movies and stuff, and so seeing him do some of his voice recording and stuff, and I think gave him some appreciation that, oh, video games are being made by some of the same people that I enjoy seeing in movies and stuff, and of course, many of us gamers have known for a long time that the video game industry has actually well eclipsed the film industry in terms of the money that's in it, and the money that it makes. But for someone like my dad, I think it was a bit of a novelty, you know, to realize, oh, not that I think it necessarily, you know, like elevated it in his mind as an art form or something like that. I don't think he has any particular disrespect for video games, but you know, I think there is something novel about that realization that, oh, like these actors that we consider legit and respected and stuff are now doing video games, you know. So that was fun to introduce him to Skyrim. Let's see. Oh, hi, Austin Marsden. He says, thanks for what you do, Pater. I hope you are doing well. Have you ever tried playing Destiny 2? So funny you bring that up. And really great to interact with you, Austin. I'm not sure if we've ever interacted before, but thanks for chiming in and for your appreciation. I appreciate that. I am doing well, thank you. I've not tried playing Destiny 2, but for the Summer of Free, which is a summer event that I do every year on the YouTube channel and have been doing for even longer on the Christian Geek Central podcast, I try to point to free entertainment options, and this summer it's going to have a little bit of it's going to have a particular focus on free video games that can be enjoyed as a single player, focused player, as opposed to, because there's MMOs and stuff like that, and free massively multiplayer games of all kinds are a dime a dozen. But there are a growing number of games, whether they are also happen to be MMOs or whether they're not. There's a growing number of games that have appeal for single players that are on consoles. It used to be that only cool free games could be discovered on PC, but they're really showing up on console now. And so my focus for the Summer of Free this year is going to be to point out free movies that are available on free streaming services and free console games that are available on modern consoles that would have appeal to even single-player video gamers. And Destiny 2 is one that I think I read a review, or a couple of reviews, from a solo player perspective that basically said that, yeah, you can actually enjoy the main campaign as a solo player. And so I'm planning on giving that a try this summer and probably featuring it as one part of the installments of the Summer of Free this year. So it's funny that you should bring that up, because that's definitely, it's been on my mind, and something I'm looking forward to trying out and seeing if it might be for me. Oh, geez. Okay. Does he see me yet? Ah, crap. Okay, so here's what I was talking about. We got to get out the Dawnbreaker. Oh man, that's not doing much better. Alright. So that could have gone better. And Austin Marston says, for my playstyle in Skyrim, I'm usually an orc that uses heavy armor and melee weapons. Yeah, I think I keep forgetting about the different races that are available in Skyrim. I think if I were to start a new playthrough from scratch, I would definitely go non-human. I would probably go with orc, and probably something that's just more of a full-on fighter kind of guy. The subclass of fighter. And Austin also adds, the Elder Scrolls Online is a good game to play too. I did try a little bit of that. I haven't given it probably all the time that it needs to give it a chance to sink its teeth into me, or get its hooks into me, or whatever phrase you want to pick from. But yeah, I've heard that as well. Oh, we are just about out of time here. Sorry, I suppose like these sneaky, stabby kind of crawls through a dungeon are not as exciting as some of the more bombastic, action-y, spells explosive-y kinds of runs that I could be doing. But it sure is satisfying to me. This dungeon is going on for a bit, though.
We're almost there.
Oh, good. He says we're almost there.
Quickly.
Something doesn't feel right.
Ooh. This is what I want, is these ingots. Okay, so I should probably save, since it sounds like things didn't work out well for them. Oh, yeah, these are traps. So we're gonna sidestep those. That would have been pretty bad. Yeah, okay. And what do we got here? Oh, that probably just turned off the trap if it was turned on and going haywire behind me. Hello, Suede Knight. Suede Knight asks, Peter, how are you this evening? I'm doing pretty well. I am feeling the fatigue a little bit, as is always the case when I do these 4-hour streams that end at around 9 o'clock. I'm usually pretty ready for them to be done when the time comes. My gosh, what is going on there? Are those ghosty mech things or presently active mech things? Oh, they're ghosty ones, but probably means they're going to wake up when I go in there. Rugged Warrior says, this feels more like a sci-fi world. It does. When you get in these dwarven ruins, it gets very kind of steampunky. And Balmy Leader says, regarding Skyrim and what you play as, I play as a female character most of the time, but in this free RPG that I forgot the name of, I picked this giant kind of character. Okay, that sounds cool. Yeah, it's not. I can't think of many RPGs that let you play as like a giant. Maybe mostly because that would probably interfere with the space and the traversal and stuff going on in the world and the scale it's built for. But anyway, well, it's time to wrap up here. But I wanted to just rattle off really quick, in case you guys were curious, the top 10 most backlogged games on How Long to Beat, and these are all getting up into, I think, the tens of thousands of people. So at number 10, Darksiders. That surprised me a little bit, but maybe because the franchise has kind of gotten some new life in it in recent years, that people are like, I should go back and give that first one a try. So that maybe that's what's going on there. Number 9, Fallout New Vegas, which, as I said, I am planning on doing a summer Let's Play series that will be a live stream series. So you guys will hopefully join me for that and chat with me while I'm playing as a Terminator in my headcanon through Fallout New Vegas. So that'll be coming up starting in just a month or so here. At number 8 is Dishonored, which I enjoyed a lot of, but got a little puzzly for me, but clearly a really well-made game. And then at number 7, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, but that's only the original release. When I put it at number 1 and gave you the number of like 13.1 thousand or 13,100, that's combining the original release and the special edition. But this is just the original release, puts it at number 7. Number 6, Borderlands 2, which I also have, and just didn't quite feel like playing tonight. Number 5, BioShock Infinite. Number 4, The Witcher 2. And that's probably a lot because of The Witcher 3. People are like, oh man, Witcher 3, awesome. I should really play The Witcher 2. I should really give that a try. Because I don't think The Witcher 2 is celebrated near as much as The Witcher 3. Number 3, BioShock. Number 2, BioShock 2. And in number 1, The Witcher 3, which again is beat out by Skyrim when you gather together those two different editions. But anyway, these are games that many players, thousands of players, that just, and that's limited to the ones that logged in and gave their information to How Long to Beat. All felt like these are games that I have and I should really get around to. So if I didn't mention a game that's in your backlog that you're interested in, again, I would recommend taking advantage of those marketing materials, hype content online, watch good positive reviews of them, revisit the preview materials and the trailers and stuff like that, and let those marketing campaigns actually work to save you money by getting you reinterested in games that you already have, that you could probably get a good amount more enjoyment out of, and in that way lean into a little bit the discipline of contentment, which is something that I find I really want to develop more and more in my life. And so this live stream was just one small little encouragement for all of us to kind of look for ways to be content with what we already have. So thank you for coming. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Let's see here. And Austin Marston says, thanks for your responses, Peter. Sounds good regarding Destiny 2 in this summer. And Borderlands 2 is a really great game. Yes, I think that I will probably have a better chance of enjoying it by playing through it with my son. My youngest, we started playing a little bit of the first Borderlands months ago. I don't know if we'll stick with it, but if we do, then I think Borderlands 2 will probably be next after that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for coming out and keeping me company. I always really, really appreciate it. And you guys sharing some of this geeky stuff you're into and asking questions. And it just makes these streams what they are. So thank you so much for being a part of it. And the next, let's see here, Summer of Free is going to start in just a few weeks, and then what was I going to mention? Oh yeah, I can just really quickly rattle off the dates for those the live streams that are coming up. But it's May 21st, June 11th, and I'll promote these when we get closer to them. But just to give you an idea of how they'll be spaced out: May 21st, June 11th, July 16th. And July 23rd. It'll be 2 hours each of those nights that I'm planning to play Fallout New Vegas as a Terminator in my headcanon. Looking forward to that. Although plans might change if a new Bioshock game gets announced, I might pivot and make that into a Bioshock Let's Play series. We'll see. But anyway, Balmy Leader says, you let your kids play Borderlands, you're a cool parent. Well, we make those choices, Holly and I, very carefully. We talk about what content is in the game, the sensitivities of each kid, how they react to different types of entertainment, different types of content, and so it's a very considered decision. But yeah, it seemed to be a good fit for him where he's at right now, and it was fun playing it with him. So hopefully he'll be interested in doing more of that or some other game that we can reasonably enjoy together. All right, that's it for now, guys. Thanks, Austin Marson, who says have a good night and God bless. Thank you all so much for coming out tonight, and I will talk to you another time. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, Christian Geek Central is launching our Game Save event for the first time this year, and I would love for you to be a part of the 2021 Game Save team. As a member of the team, you will be raising funds for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital throughout October by telling friends, family members, or co-workers about your fundraising, and if you like, doing some kind of game-related event, like a game night at your home or church, or like me, you can do a crazy 24-hour video game marathon. As your team leader, I'll provide tips and resources to make your fundraising as fun, easy, and effective as possible. For more information about the event or how to sign up, check out the links to some helpful videos below. You can also leave a comment or email me at paeter@spiritblade.com with any questions. I cannot wait to get this started. Would love for you to join me. Thanks.